Hi, everyone. Radical Gardener. I don't even know where to start. Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, the weather, it's been perfect for spring. Lots of, rain, a little bit of humidity. Every time there's thunder, that little ionosphere gets charged and the plants just perk right up. Every single thing I planted is growing. Every single thing. I mean, it's crazy. And I don't know if it's because I'm doing it on the Rudolf Steiner time or because I'm using the kelp fertilizer, which I am nutty about. And remember, that has your nitrates, your potassium, and phosphorus. So it is a gangbuster, and I make like a tea out of it. And it's just, I mean, even my wisteria, which everybody was told me, I have new wisteria. I think this is its second year, and people said it's not going to bloom. Wisteria doesn't bloom in Michigan; it's really rare. And you should see my wisteria. I mean, it's going to bloom. It's just. It's great. The side of the house, where I've got the sweet potatoes, you just should see that. I'll take you on a tour. I just want to finish up some things. I mean, I'm just planting all these seeds. Alice sent me a bunch, and then I had this wonderful gal out of Pennsylvania send me some wonderful seeds from the Michigan Gardener, and then I had a neighbor drop off 30 organic plants, and we're just like, oh my God, where are we putting all of this? So we're just, just planting away and just having a great time. It's really hard work. I'm exhausted, so I haven't been able to do videos for a couple of days, but that's for a good reason. I'm planting food. Okay, so let me tell you about some of the stuff that's going on with my C60. I look down at my hands and I have no age spots. They're gone. They're like gone. They're gone. They're gone. That is crazy. And I talked about it a little bit. I says, God, it seems like these are kind of peeling off beige spots. It's kind of weird. And then I had some skin taps. I know maybe it's gross for some people. I don't know. Hey, you know what? It's what it is. All that was peeling off. And that's strange. Oh, and I got a haircut. That has nothing to do with C60. I mean, wow. And I feel really good, really clear. My skin, I just can't get over my skin. And your skin, again, that's the biggest organ. I mean, this, detoxing through the skin. But every time I do a lymphatic massage or I do a craniosacral session, I'm just going to let you know it is brutal for me the next day because along with the C60 and having a practitioner work on me, it brings out those metals and that is really harsh. And I'm telling you, a lot of people wouldn't want to do it. Maybe it's hard on me because I'm of the age that I am. I'm 68, but it's worth it. I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to, go through it because I just can see what's going to be on the other side of my hair. It's just so healthy. And my husband, too, he's just he's not really in pain anymore. I mean, we both are still have like my knees will hurt sometimes, like if I stand for too long, but I've got too much weight on me. But I've noticed even that, like my stomach's flattening and, a lot of the puffiness is going away. And so, I mean, it really is great stuff. And I don't have my computer set up today, but when we do Subscriber Wednesday, I'm going to, read to you the response that Bob Greska from C-60.com responded to one of the people that was talking about that, what Bob's process might be or what have you. And he's so science-based and he's so clear about the process and he's such an honest guy. I just don't know what to say, because there's now it looks like there's real competition coming into that world, and it's too bad. It's like the music business. I always liken everything to the music business. Bands, especially in Seattle, and especially blues bands. Let me just tell you, everybody would be so competitive and so I mean, it was like crabs in the pot. If you were doing well, the other bands would want to pull you down. And there was always enough work for everybody, always. But this thing about you have to compete, and you have to badmouth people. And I respect Bob so much. He will not say a peep about anybody. And I can tell you that's not true of a whole bunch of them. I'm going to tell you. They're very competitive. I could tell, they have like half the information. Most of them aren't sourcing from where he's sourcing to get his C60. So just that right there is a big, aha moment. That was for me. But all I can tell you is that my results with this stuff is really nothing short of amazing. I'm signed up for life. You can't tell me anything would be any better for me to take until I guess they discover something else. But I'm telling you, it's really something. I took CBD oil for 2 years. I took really good CBD oil. It was the whole plant. I can't tell you that I really felt any difference. Now, maybe I did. Maybe I would have felt worse than when I was taking it. That stuff is really subjective. But, I mean, what the hell? That is definitely not going to lengthen my telomeres. It's not going to protect me from radiation. It's just not going to do any of that. I think where it really serves its purpose is that it really works in a very positive way when it comes to inflammation. So, I didn't study it. I didn't, look at all the different, how it works in the brain. I didn't do any of that. I just took it. And I just made sure I was taking the best that I could find. I asked a lot of questions. I talked to a lot of people that would know. But I've never taken anything like the C60. Again, I had to go through a detox. And the detox is, and I'm sure I'm not done. I have an appointment next week and with another lymphatic massage, and I'm sure that's going to be harsh too, So, and then one day it won't be so much. So, it's a lot of years of being around toxicity. Now I started to think about it. I forgot. Hey, I grew up in Dearborn, Michigan. Guess what's right next to it? Ford Motor Company. What the hell was I breathing in there? I mean, Ford Motor Company, right? So that was our neighbor. And so I was in Detroit until I was 27 years old. And then you look at like the amount of lipstick I've probably chewed off my lips, and as an entertainer, and false eyelashes and hair dye and makeup with all that crap in it, and nail polish and, fake nails and costume jewelry and not to mention, just what's in food. And I had some serious detoxing to do, and I'd been doing it throughout my life, but there was always a point where I'd have to stop because I would get really sick and I couldn't function, and I have to be able to function. I was teaching full time, doing all that. But now I've given myself time off, and so that I can move through this process. So anyways, I'm really excited. I hope that, all of you can, if you're in pain or that you find something, if it's not C60, you find something that really works for you, because it's really changing my outlook on how I'm going to, live in my years as I grow older. I mean, geez, oh, Pete, this is great stuff. Okay, so excited about that. Even you guys, back to the garden, even the peas grew, except for one little bucket of peas didn't grow. My perennial arugula is really showing up. All the spinach, all the lettuce. Let's see, loads of peas. I've got some flowers I planted. They're all growing. I just planted borage today. We did some runner beans. The only reason I did the runner beans is because that was some plants that the neighbor dropped off. But, so let's go over to this now. And I'll give you a list and we'll go through the garden. We'll do that tomorrow. So guess what? This is really interesting. So, I was thinking about, how I was getting all this kind of blowback from, like my neighborhood list, people didn't want to talk about prepping and us, for like, the future and that. So I started to think about it. I thought, I'm really approaching this wrong. Why don't I just offer garden advice, right? Well, that is a huge hit. So I've got people coming over now, and we're going to be, people that want to put in raised beds and want to garden and want to grow their own food. And so now people are really interested in talking about that. So that's the tact I'm going to take. And I will, start offering classes. I just want to get my garden done here. Not done, but at least everything planted that I want planted for the spring planting. And then I'm going to offer classes, and they can come on Saturdays. I'm in the garden anyways, and they can come from one time to another, and we can talk about some of the problems and, installing their raised beds, and, if they can't do it themselves, if there's somebody that can help them. So, you know what? It just kind of felt like things shifted a little bit. So, gosh, I mean, just so many wonderful things to get excited about. I haven't really been paying attention to the political stuff. I mean, I do. I never totally check out. Like, I always read the Q drops, and actually I have that app, the Q drop. Love that app. But anyway, so I have that, but I haven't been able to really follow because I'm just staying so focused about the garden. I know that something's supposed to break on the 23rd. Is that Wednesday, I think? What's the date today? 21st. So let's see what happens. It's getting good. Anyways, you guys, I missed you, and thanks for all your feedback. I really, really appreciate it. Oh, wait, there was one more thing. Yeah, when I was talking about the different weather channels and like in Dutch Sense and all of that, and Peter says, the government does lie on. Let me kind of just clear that little thing up. I know the government's always lying to us. So don't think I don't know that. When I was making a point about downgrading the earthquakes, the size of the earthquake, it was what I thought was really important to know is that there was a logical explanation for that. It doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean that, that the government doesn't lie. But it really makes sense to me that that's the process. That first the information comes through the computers, then it's assessed by the professionals, and then they either stay with it or they downgrade it. So, yes, Peter, I know there's a bunch of liars out there. So, I'm just looking for clarity, and I'm looking for the truth. That's all. So, okay. Radical Gardener, from my garden to yours. I hope your garden grows a lot of food so that you can eat it. And I'm sending you a ton of love. Okay? All right, thanks. Bye.